What are we talking about? Shoulder's main function. Raise the arm to the front, to the side, to the back. That's an anterior delt, that's medial head, and that's posterior heads. We press a lot. If you're in the gym, bench press, overhead press, incline press, we do a lot of anterior work. If you're utilizing really those lat muscles properly, you are using your rear delt as a secondary muscle, or any kind of pressing exercises. Our anterior delt on all of those, if you're doing a close grip bench press, if you're doing an incline press, if you're doing a tricep extension, a lot of times our secondary muscle is gonna be that anterior delt. And what happens is, because those are such ego-driven lifts, it usually comes into play pretty quickly when doing a max bench press or a max reps at 225. So what ends up happening is that leaves us with overdeveloped anterior deltoids and underdeveloped rear delts. You're gonna leave yourself open for a risk of injury. Whenever we're doing any kind of pressing, we also work rotation. So with all the pressing that we're doing, it's important to also work that shoulder rotation in there as well. One thing you're gonna notice with these external rotators off the knee with a dumbbell is that my elbow is always being supported by my knee. I never want to leave this unsupported and just be free in space with my shoulder. So everything we do, nice and controlled all the way down. Good stretch, all the way back and open it. You're gonna feel this throughout the shoulder as we work this. And this is gonna all those little stabilizing, not just stabilizing muscles, but just moving full range of motion in there. Again, our shoulders are designed to raise the arms in different planes of motion and rotate the arms as well. Typically we do 8 to 10 reps on these, and then we move on to our next exercise. So the next thing we're gonna do to improve structural balance in the shoulder is gonna be finding a bench that you can essentially lean over on and keep that forehead pressed against your hand. Now, you can do this kneeling here if you have to. Whatever you do, our main thing is gonna be to leave that forehead on our forearm. From there, we're gonna squeeze that scapula back and down with the shoulders. So right from here, boom. We do this in all rowing exercises pretty much as well. From here, we're going to raise that weight, and you can see it's nice and light here. You don't need a ton of weight. You're gonna feel this a little bit in your trap as well, the higher you get it. But the point is not to go up super fast. We're nice and controlled, especially at the top, getting a good stretch there, and then controlling it back down. Taking that shoulder joint through that range of motion. If you can't do this exercise because you don't have the shoulder mobility yet, what I want you guys to do is grab a band, position it around a fixed bar or anything that's not gonna move on you. So with the band up at about shoulder level, we're gonna bend over, that forehead is gonna go to the ground, arms straight, thumbs to the sky, and then we're just gonna allow that band to help us into this position right here, keeping that forehead on the ground and back down. And you're gonna feel it pinching right in the shoulder blades there as you raise it up, back down. The little things here are gonna go a long way. Typically 6 reps each arm on each one of these, and then we go back through it a second time, warming up everything before we get into our workout. You can call these pal raises, or Arnold calls them side lying dumbbell raise. But basically what we're gonna be doing here, you can start with one foot on the ground, or you can go straight onto the side, keeping your shoulder, elbow, and wrist in one line, coming all the way up. I like to look at the dumbbell as I raise it, really opening up that shoulder. It's another good one to do at the beginning, again, because it's going to promote that structural awareness that we talked about. We don't want to feel it too much in our trap. If you're starting to feel it too much in your trap, you're probably bunching up here. Keep that trap nice and relaxed down. Elbow, shoulder, and wrist all in that line. Come straight up. I'm not bending the arm. I'm not here. Straight up. 8 reps there. And then we're just gonna switch sides. There's really 2 things to get shoulder width. You have your genetics, your shoulder girdle. How wide are your shoulders? That's from your mom and dad. That is your God-given shoulder width. Someone like Steve Reeves had exceptionally wide shoulders. Now, he didn't have great medial delts, but he had wide shoulders, a wide clavicle, and it set himself up for a great V-taper. Now, if you're not blessed with Steve Reeves type's genetics, what you need to do is you need to make sure you're training that medial delt. Now, anterior delt, posterior delt, all of it. You need to have a well-developed 3D delt to have a good set of shoulders, but it's that medial delt that's really gonna give you that illusion of width. So thank you guys for checking out this video. Like always, subscribe, give this a thumbs up, and let me know what else you guys wanna see.